Welcome back to Your Money Matters. Well, in our last segment, Mark and I had a chance to cover a good bit of ground about how your retirement plans are impacted by the stimulus plan. But there's so much more to it than just that. If you are a small business owner, you're probably wondering, what do I do now? There's a lot of options out there. Joining me now is Chris King. Chris King founded Next Level Solutions in Baton Rouge back in 2013. Chris, I guess you would best describe Next Level Solutions as you let small companies focus on what they do best and you take care of all the behind-the-scenes stuff, right?
That's correct, Matt. Specifically in the areas of accounting, human resources, and technology deployments.
Got it. Okay. So what options are out there right now for small businesses? I think of the restaurants and the dry cleaners and the nail salons, and they're all shut down. What help is available for them?
Yes, I think the first thing, Matt, in this environment is for people to just take a deep breath and sit back and look at all of the facts and assess the options.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lots and lots of options. I will go through a couple of them, and then I'll pause a little bit for some discussion if you like. But first of all, prior to the CARES Act, which was just signed into law on Friday, Louisiana was added to the list of states that are eligible for economic injury disaster loans through the SBA. Now, those are loans that are directly applied for through the SBA, not through a lender. The process over the last week has changed a few times already, but it is now much simpler to get a number and to get in line. So that's the first thing. The second thing is they need to be aware that the FFCRA was signed into law last week as well.
What does that stand for?
Families First Coronavirus Recovery Act.
Okay.
And go back and check me on that.
Okay.
But anyway, the FFCRA, what it does is it extends a lot of protections to employees that normally apply to larger companies. And I'm speaking at a very high level here. People can go to our website at nextlevelsol.net and click on the blog section for some articles that we posted on this. But in short, it extends some protections to employees that were covered that only big businesses had to adhere to prior to the act being passed into law. Small businesses don't have to pay for this. They're reimbursed through tax credits through their payroll taxes. So that's the second thing is the FFCRA, just to be aware of that.
Okay.
It's out there in the economic injury disaster loans. Then finally, there are tons of provisions in the CARES Act that was just signed into law on Friday. The most popular would be the payroll protection program.
Right. That's the one I want to focus on the most, because the most immediate concern for a business owner has to be, I had to lay all my staff off. So that business owner, he or she, can actually get help to pay the employees while the business is closed. They do that through their local lending institution, right?
We will be able to contact any of our local banks. So that's one of the provisions of the law, is that it's supposedly now how this all gets implemented is we'll see how efficiently we do that. We can make that happen, but they should be able to go to a local lender. It's based off of their payroll tax history. The idea of it is to have them not let employees go.
That's it.
It's for them to keep people employed, and it's in the maximum amount of that loan, which also has a forgiveness provision. It has a forgiveness provision that allows forgiveness to the degree that an employer did not lay off their staff. So if you kept everybody and you applied for this and you were granted this, and you have you've now kept your people employed, allegedly, and we'll see how all of this plays out, but allegedly if the money went toward payroll and rent and utilities and things of that nature, that this money is forgivable up to the amount of the original loan.
But you know, Chris King from Next Level Solutions is our guest. Their website is nextlevelsol.net. I think it boils down to record keeping. If you apply for this, if you need help covering the payroll, you can stop at the bank. If you need help with the small business stuff, call us and we'll walk you through that. But I have to tell you, Chris, I think record keeping is paramount to make sure that you don't end up owing a loan back, that it truly is a grant, not a loan. You better be able to document everything, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Matt. Being able to go back and prove what you did in the event of an audit. So spot on with your point.
Yeah. All right. So bottom line is, if you need help keeping your staff paid, I would recommend you just go to the lending institution maybe that helped you with the startup loan, because they probably know your situation better than any other person, right, Chris?
Yeah, well, for the payroll protection program, I would say yes, because that'll be handled through local banks. But in the event you want to apply for an economic injury disaster loan,
right,
that is directly through the SBA. And a very important thing to note on those is, a part of the CARES Act, there is when you apply for that and when you go through the new process that they just rolled out, when you go through that process, at the end of it, it gives you an option to request a $10,000 emergency advance. I also have read, and once again, we'll see how all of this shakes out because we all know how this works, but I've read that grant is also forgivable in the event that you don't qualify for the loan. So there's really no reason small business owners are gonna carry the tax bill on this thing anyway. So take advantage of it. Use it to use what's there. Take the benefit, because you're going to pay for it.
Chris King, thank you for the time. You can visit Next Level Solutions online at nextlevelsol.net. I'll tell you a great resource I was actually looking at as we were talking, and that's SBA.gov. That's the Small Business Administration, SBA.gov. They have a small business guidance and loan resources booklet that you can download. It's a PDF file. You can download that, SBA.gov. And again, if you have questions about your own specific situation, maybe you're a small business owner and you have a simple IRA plan set up, or a self-employment pension, or a 401k even, and you've got questions about the rules that pertain to that we discussed earlier, we're always a phone call away. You can reach us at 866-390-1252. That's 866-390-1252. As a small business owner, maybe you're concerned about your own retirement future in the wake of this. 15-minute phone conference can be set up by calling 866-390-1252 or visit thepresleygroup.com and set up your 15-minute phone conference right there online. Just click the red banner at thepresleygroup.com. We've got more of Your Money Matters in just a moment.